Hello, my name is Gabriel. I'm a pet room manager for Zamzos. This is a bearded dragon. We've had a couple of videos on these guys already. Let's go ahead and look how we can actually set up an enclosure for a juvenile bearded dragon and get everything set up. Go ahead and hand this guy off. Now first what we're going to do is we're actually going to start out with our substrate. Now we like to use a carpet substrate, especially with younger bearded dragons. And this is the Zilla Brown Terrarium Liner. And I personally like the brown color. It's a little bit nicer, in my opinion, than some of the other colors available, but I like this one. So we lay that out all the way across the bottom, make sure that we get as much of it flat down against the bottom as we can. And then we'll take something like our hide cave here to weight it down a little bit. Now the hide cave I'm going to put on this side. It's going to actually be on the cool side of the tank so the animal has someplace to go and get away from the heat and hide out from. I also have something for him to climb on, though, another piece of decor. It has a hollow inside that we can put on this side that's actually going to be the hot side so that they have a chance to get up and be different places where the different temperature is. We've also got some different types of things for them to climb on. We've got pieces of wood and grapevine, which will be great for them to be able to have some things to do. We've got stuff like cactuses, which will enrich the environment for the animal, give them something to climb on that's not just wood or stone, something that mimics nature. Then, of course, we have our food dish and water dish. Those both have to be shallow. It's easier for a younger bearded dragon to get into his water or food if the dish isn't too deep. And so we'll just place those right there in the center. Now, the one thing that becomes a real issue when you're setting up an enclosure for a bearded dragon is you have to get your lighting right. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to have our lights set up here. And we also have our Exoterra hygrometer and digital thermometer. Both of these I would place on top here and have the probes going down inside to tell me what the humidity level is in the tank as well as the temperature. They're both very, very important for a young bearded dragon because if you get too much humidity, you can end up with respiratory infection and other nasal issues. And if the temperature isn't right, well, they can't eat if they don't have the power to do so. So what we'll do is I'm going to show you how to set up the lights. First we have our Exoterra clamp lamp here with a 75-watt desert bulb. It's a tight beam, and we're going to set that right over the top of our hot area right there. Plug it in so you guys can see what it looks like. Turn that on. It's a little brighter in there. And then we have a very special light. It's, again, another Exoterra clamp lamp, and I will set that right over next to that. But the reason this one's so important is it's UVB lighting. Now, UVB lighting is extremely important for reptiles. Let me get the right one on here. And you can actually flash the camera real quick. It's a bright white type light. And what it does is it helps to stimulate vitamin D production in reptile skin. And reptiles, unfortunately, they don't get a lot of calcium from the diet that they have. So any calcium that they need to use right away, especially when they're young like the little guy we have. He needs to be able to put that into his bones to help get them growing correctly. If they don't have the UVB type of lighting, it can cause metabolic bone disease and hyperthyroidism, which can be very bad for your animal's health. All right, this is the basic setup. There's lots of other extra things you can do. If you have a real cold house, you can add in like the Exoterra Heat Wave. It's the Desert Small, and you can put that on the hot side and leave it on at night. Or you can add other types of lighting in to keep them at the temperature you want. And if you need any other information, we have our zamzos.com where you can get any pet care information and product information that you might need.